Adam Savage at Prop Store of London, and I don't even know if I need to give much of an intro because holy hell, look, it's a Rocketeer backpack. Brandon Allinger, tell me about this backpack.
Yeah, so this is, we've talked in the past about research and how so much of the interest in props and collecting props involves research and trying to understand why things are made the way they are. This was a really interesting case study because it's basically a casting, which I assume is fiberglass, of the Rocketeer pack, and then inside is this heavy duty from production,
from that era, yes.
And there's a heavy steel frame in it and
a
pipe down at the bottom. So yeah, if you pick it up, or here, I'm going to show you.
All right.
You see in there, and you've seen other rocket packs in the past, right?
I have seen some other rocket packs. Okay,
so I don't think that pipe's a standard feature.
No, there's actually that's clearly some part for some specific rig.
They've knocked a big hole in it. So this originated with a guy who was part of the special effects team. It passed through a couple of hands, and then it's wound up here. And what we understood is they were trying to figure out a way that they could maybe mount a guy in costume like on the front of a plane and get real flying POV shots of over the shoulder. So I guess as part of that, they would mount him through the rocket pack, and they'd build a pack with a full framework. And we should actually we should pop it open.
Because I looked in the flashlight, I could see some big chunks of steel on the side here that were. Wow, look at how crunchy it is up close. I love it.
It's rough and probably never fully finished. I mean, it was probably a concept, something they were working on and just abandoned for one reason or another. I thought it was interesting that the flaps were not consistent. This one's got those lines on it.
And this one doesn't. It's funny because I've even have reference material where the flaps are negative.
Oh, really?
But I don't remember the correct one. Also, I'm noticing that it looks like the engine nacelles are a little more squeezed here than here. Like they have a directionality, but I may be wrong.
Do you think those were found parts, or do you think they welded those up?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
This piece is so iconic, and it is so, its form factor is so perfect. This is one of those few props that I just love every last thing about it. I loved it in the film. I loved every still of it. I have one. I work on it about every couple of years just to make it a little better.
Yeah, amazing design.
Yeah.
So here, let's see if we can zip it open.
Go. Oh yeah, look at all that structure. Holy cow.
So there's a lot going on in there, right?
They were expecting,
And why else would you put a rig like that in if not to be some kind of mount for an actor? I mean, I don't know, unless you have any other theories on it.
Well, I mean, it's clearly a test rig, right? So they're not thinking, if you're gonna hang an actor, you're always gonna wanna strap around the body of the actor. So actually, I would say if this was truly meant for an actor, there'd probably be some attachment points for this between this and the actor, because you wouldn't just want to count on the strapping.
Sure, right.
But it could also be part of a pyro, like this moving through frame on a thing that went up that pipe, and the steel is to keep it from melting, but I don't know.
Or I don't know, is there any possibility that it would relate to launching the pack off of like an air cannon?
Absolutely.
Maybe.
Could be.
Because isn't there a thing where it kind of goes flying off? I think there's a shot in the film where it goes...
That might be exactly what that's for. That would be exactly what this rig would be perfect at.
Maybe we're revising the theory on the fly.
You could put a charge in there, and then you could fire this thing,
right, and just shoot it as a couple hundred flying through the frame. Yeah,
doing that.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. Maybe.
And I mean, the rocket castings inside. I mean, I even see the details on the top that I recognize, right?
Yeah.
So like all of this is, and they went to the trouble of fiberglassing it. I mean, it's a real sturdy.
It's very
piece.
Solid. Yeah.
Man. This is just the most fun archaeology.
Now we have to go look at the film and see what it looks like in the shot where it actually flies off. And
exactly.
See if there could be a logic to that. Although I would think if you really shot this thing a few hundred yards, it'd be pretty cracked up at the end of it.
Again, which means that if you were prepping for a shot like that, you'd make 5 of these.
Yeah.
Identical. Yeah. Really quick and dirty so that you could fire them through the air and you wouldn't have to.
They'd break and then you'd use the next one.
Exactly.
Yeah. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it was prepped for that. And probably also why you wouldn't need perfectly consistent detailing there because it's just going to be a wide shot.
Right. You're just grabbing everything from the shelf.
Yeah.
this really is my favorite kind of archaeology.
Film archaeology.
Yeah, just like trying to imagine what it was like on set when they were doing it. But it's also like, I mean, having made my own rocket pack and obsessed over little details, and then seeing where details are not being sweated over on this is really cool.
Yeah, like up here at the top of the fins where it all just sort of goes to a muddy, I'm not sure what's going on there.
Yeah. Brandon, I never really thought I'd get to see a genuine rocket pack up close and personal. I really appreciate it.
Hey, I'm glad that we found something of interest, familiar and of interest.
Something of interest in here. I'm going to go climb the aisles.